Okay, guys, am I audible? Yeah. Let us wait for a couple of minutes. I think we have people to join. Uh, in the meantime, I think I'll open the Visual Studio, the code and all of that stuff. Right. Okay. Please go through that class, Rajshekhar. I think if we are not wrong, just go through the whole recording or go through the classes content. We have spoken about all of that. Yeah. Right. Yesterday's class was all about databases. Right. Uh, Fine then. So let us get started. So today what we would try to understand is, okay, so what is this model of databases that Azure is providing for the relational front? I think yesterday we have gone through a whole list of all of the services. Okay, Azure relational database options for SQL Server. All right. So good. So there are many details which you need to know, but today we will not do that. Today we will basically stick to a very basic idea of, right, the first option, which I want to call it as deployment models. Right. So what is this deployment model? Deployment model is, let us assume that your company wants you to create an SQL server in Azure. SQL server in Azure. So how do you basically create it? How do you basically create it? Okay, and what are the possible models? What are the possible models? And deployment models for the managed Azure SQL. I'm not speaking about unmanaged over here, but I'm quite sure yesterday we have defined about what is managed and what is unmanaged. Yeah, right. So I think I can speak about it. Right. First of all, Azure SQL is platform as a service, or some of the people also refer it as database as a service. What do I mean by that? Okay. So I'll just show you a very simple image. This is a very popular one and I'll be using one of them. What should I use? This looks good. Open image in new tab. Yeah, right. So if you look at this image, generally what happens is, whenever you have any application that is running on the cloud, the physical networking of that server is your responsibility. Storage, that is disk maintenance, backups, your responsibility. The physical server, your responsibility. The VMware or virtual machines on top of it, your responsibility. Operating system on top of it, your responsibility. The softwares and the runtime which you install, your responsibility. Application and data that you generate, your responsibility. This is generally how we manage our application. For example, this could be any server which is physically present in your office. Everything is managed by your organization. But when we go to cloud, we have three options. One is infrastructure as a service. The second one is platform as a service. The third one is software as a service. In infrastructure as a service, physical networking managed by cloud provider, which is Azure. Storage of your virtual machine provided by Azure. Physical server maintained by Azure. Virtualization technology, you need not worry about whether I need to use VMware or some other kind of virtualization platform. That is all providers headache. What you manage from is you manage from operating system. When it comes to platform as a service, you are not even worried about it. When it comes to platform as a service, you are worried about what is that you want. You right this moment, I want a SQL server. So why should I worry on which operating system SQL server is running? How many, what you call, what is the virtualization which it is working on? What are the different softwares which I need to install? No, I will directly get database as a platform. And then I can basically build my own data on top of it. That is the whole idea of platform as a service. Tomorrow you can get a .NET environment as a platform as a service, a Python environment as platform as a service. Software as a service is a finished product, something like Google Drive, right? Where you directly get a finished product, or a Salesforce, a Netflix, where you directly go and give this URL to your customers. Right now, we are dealing with, okay, okay, platform as a service. That means you need not manage or you need not worry about, okay. Yesterday, if you have looked at, I need not worry about SQL server. I need not worry about which version of SQL server. I need not worry about updates to the SQL server. The only thing which I need to worry about is my data and my applications which I am building on top of my databases. Generally, on top of database, since you don't build any application, database is used by the application, right? So this is considered as database as a service, right? So deployment models in Azure are, we have something called as Azure SQL database single, and then there is something called as managed instance, sorry, okay, and then there is, sorry, and then there is something called as elastic pool. So when you speak of Azure SQL, you have three options. So what is the single database? Oh, I think I have a typo over here. What is a single database, right? So fully managed isolated database. Okay, this manage is fully managed and it is isolated, right? So possible option for all the, mm, I'll put it in this way, all the modern applications, okay, right? Clear on this? Okay, I'm not sure how many of you basically know this, but in SQL server there is something called as, if you come from this database world, contained databases in, SQL. I think this is what it is. Okay, right, right. So to be very specific, this is exactly what it is, right? So if you come from database background and if you are an SQL Server admin, right? Much like a contained databases. So if you want to understand what the contained databases are, this is what it is. Okay, am I clear on this? Right? So this is the first option. Don't worry about it. So we will create certain things today, right? We will try to understand a little bit more. Okay. So then comes the managed instance. Okay. So this is also fully managed. Okay. Instance of SQL Server. Okay. The difference is the earlier one used to contain single database. Over here, we are speaking about set of databases. Okay. This is how most of our companies will basically use a database server. They will have a DB team. They will take a huge database server. In that, they will create multiple databases, and that individual database they try to basically manage. That of that they will have multiple databases, but individual database they will give permissions to some teams, and individual database they will give permission to some other teams. That is basically what a managed instance is all about. Managed instance is all about, okay, what do you call, it is all about sharing multiple databases in one server. Okay, so generally, right, when we migrate, okay, migration from on-premise SQL server to Azure cloud, okay, this is an easier option. So for example, tomorrow when you migrate your databases, if you want to migrate a database which is present in your office right now to Azure, then basically this is the best option, because this is as good as what your database is. There are environmentally it is the same thing, right? Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. Now comes Elastic Pool. Okay. Elastic Pool is collection of single databases with shared resources or shared system resources like CPU and memory. Okay. Now let me give you a diagrammatic perspective of what these things are. So, right, server icon, SQL server logo. All right. So you have a server, a single server, right? On that single server, a Microsoft SQL Server is installed. Version is your choice, right? And on that, you are having only one database, single database. Okay, right. So if you remember, this is mostly like what I've asked you to, what I've drawn yesterday, right? Okay. So in this, okay, sorry. Obviously, till here is managed by Azure, okay, and you are responsible for data inside this database, okay. I am not drawing that today, okay. So this is SQL database single, okay. So you have a server with this. This is managed by these. The bottom two are managed by my Azure. There is no doubt about it. But you will have a single database, a contained database. That's it. Okay. But when it comes to the managed instance, okay, let me try it. When it comes to managed instance, rather than having one database, sorry, rather than having one database, you might have multiple databases. Okay. But one more thing, let me add this at the bottom. Okay. Here I need one more icon, which is this is your user or an organization. Okay. I'll put it as user. Okay. Fine. Right. So here also it is single user model. Okay. So you have a single database, which is basically shared on basically multiple servers, and then you can have everything whatever you have. This is as good as your on-premise instance. So this is managed instance, right? When you go for a elastic pool, okay, now elastic pool works slightly in a different way. In elastic pool, basically what happens is, okay, right, so you'll have the same stuff, everything is managed, no doubt about it. And if you look at database, here also you'll have databases, but databases are multiple. Okay, let me not use the same color. so that there will be some distinction. Okay. All right. So here it is a collection of single databases. Okay. Each database represents a different application. Okay. So user, the two look the same. So let me put someone else. Okay. When I say user or application, whatever you call it, user two, and then user three. That's it. So if you see user one might be looking at this database or user or application, all right? So might be looking at this database. So here all the three belongs to the same user. Okay. Here you are creating one server, sorry, one server where the whole stuff looks at this. So this is Elastic Pool. This is Elastic Pool for you. Okay. So am I clear on this? We have three models or three deployment models. One is we have a same SQL server, but SQL server in three different models. So obviously these three different models, what you get as a user is the same SQL server, but you might have a different pricing, you might have a different performance levels, right? So depending on what you are interested in, you might choose whatever you are interested in, right? So let me first take the screen capture of this, and then I'll take your questions, right? Okay. So now if you get into the preview mode, I am just drawing all the images over here. So dot slash images slash Azure SQL 11 dot png. Right. Okay. Azure Elastic Pool might be a majority choice, could be depending on the nature of the applications which you have in your organization. That could be a choice, right? So see, when cloud gives you all of the options, right? For some organizations, single might make more sense. For some organizations, Elastic Pool might make more sense, right? Yes, sir. Yes, Jaydev. Yeah. So am I clear on this now? So we have a user and we have these three models, and each model will have some differences, some similarities, and some advantages, some disadvantages, and all of that stuff. Okay. So we'll get into that. But the whole point is, whenever you want to look at a managed database in Azure SQL Server, you have three options. Azure SQL database is single, managed instance, and Elastic Pool and Elastic. Right. Okay. Right. Now let me show you one more thing. Azure pricing calculator. Okay. So now if you go into this, next I'm giving, let's explore pricing over here. Okay. So if you go into pricing, okay, let me delete. I'm not interested in virtual machines. Okay. So what is that we are looking out for? We are looking out for Azure SQL database. It has added a view. Come down over here. Then are you seeing here it is showing you the option. Okay. So what is the model which you want? Okay. Do you want an Azure SQL database? All right. So right. So let me not change it. I'll say that okay. I'll go with okay. 1 minute, man. I think there is some page refresh issue. Okay. Azure SQL database. And then I have to choose in which part of the world do you want. First, let me select it in South India, which is Chennai. Then here I have three options. Do you want a single database or whatever it is? And RAGRS, vCore, these stuff I have not discussed. So I'm not changing any of this. Okay. Now over here, scroll down, and then you're basically going with purchase vCore 8 core model. There are some other models also which are much cheaper. So just to give you an idea, okay, I can go with the database which costs me $5 also. Okay. So we'll understand what the DTU model and a vCore model is, right? So just have a look at it. Okay, how can I condense the view? Right, this looks okay. Okay, so please expand this view whenever you are looking at a screenshot. Now, if you look at this view, I want you to play around with this. For today, I want you to play around with this. Okay, so whenever you select, okay, our area of interest is this, right? So okay, uh, below are some of the images with database options. Okay, so I'll start with this. Okay, whenever you learn any service, right, whether I remind about that in the classroom or not, the first thing which I want you guys to do is please explore pricing. Please explore pricing. So once you look at pricing, right, you will understand what are the different models that are available. That's the easier way to learn anything in the cloud. Now let me show you one thing. Okay, this is South India, right? I'll change this to, okay, West US. Are you saying is there difference in cost? So the same service might cost cheaper in US. Okay. So present I'm choosing South India. So region to region also there will be some differences in cost. Right. Single database. Then I'll go with Elastic Pool. Okay. Now you look into this. With Elastic Pool, what is the basic cost which I get? Okay. Right. And with managed instance, what is the cost which I get? If you see there is not much of cost difference. Right. Okay. If you look at this, there is something called a service tier. The service tier is drastically increasing the cost. So we need to understand what that is. Okay. And then if you look at this Elastic Pool, I go to DTU model. There is something called as basic, standard, and premium. Okay. but this is very much cheaper. So we need to understand what this purchase model is all about. Okay. If you go to single database, okay, this vCore model, I have lot of vCores over here. Okay. So there is something called a service style, hyperscale. Okay. I don't want 8 core, I want 2 core. So what is this core model? Okay. This will give you the whole idea. Okay. I think my screen is visible to you, right? So we need to understand the purchase model. We need to understand the stuff which you see over here, which is in service tier. Okay. Let me show you one more thing. Okay. So let me go back to the 8 code, which was the default one. Now I'll go to 3 years reserved. So the same machine is basically costing me 1067, and I go for Azure hybrid benefit. Okay. So what is this? Pay as you go and Azure hybrid benefit. Okay. So 1 year reserved, pay as you go. So pay as you go cost me 16. Okay. All right. So pay as you go. Okay. With a service tier of general and the purchasing model vCore and instances are 8 is costing me this much. Right. Okay. Now the only thing which I'll do is I'll just change it to 3 years. Okay. So if you look at last image, the only thing which I've changed is 3 years. And if you look at instances, same. Okay. Service tier, same. Okay. That's the whole idea which I'm trying to tell. So whenever we change certain things, the price is coming this stuff. So let me click on Azure hybrid now. So if you click on Azure hybrid, your cost has come down. So play around with this options. I don't want to show you all the possible options over here, but these all the possible options define how you use your SQL and what is that you need to know about your databases, right? So let me go over here and let me add a few images, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15. Okay. 13, 14 and 15. Okay. So and today's exercises play around with okay, exercises. Play around with Azure pricing calculator. Okay. To understand different options and price impacts. So this is your first exercise, right? And for this, you don't need to have an Azure account also. You just need to go to some URL, and in that URL, you have to just play around with the stuff. Okay. And I think everyone in this room can do this activity. Okay. If you come down, there is also storage, backup, and all of that stuff. I'm not getting into all of that. I'm just worried about database cost. Then we will worry about what this backup and how do you basically deal with all of this. Yeah. So the first part. Now let's create an Azure SQL free database. This is what we are going to do. Okay. So let's create an Azure SQL free database. For the people, right, one thing which you always have to understand is in Azure, whenever you want to create anything, whatever you are creating is called as a resource. Whatever you are creating is called as resource. And your resource has to be part of some group. Your resource has to be part of some group. Even though I've said this, but I'm trying to tell this again. Okay. So you go to Azure account, all right, and you subscribe to your free tier account. So what is that you would have? You have an account. Okay. So whenever you create an account, basically what happens is a tenant, and this tenant is something called as Azure. This tenant is Azure Active Directory, gets created. And in this, you will have your user ID. So whenever you are creating an Azure account, what is happening? First, an Azure account is creating, and for that, a tenant is created. A tenant is created. Tenant is nothing but Azure Active Directory. Okay. So for the people who don't who are finding Azure Active Directory difficult, you can think of this tenant as it will allow you to log in, log out, or it will set the permissions. What is that you are allowed and what is that you are not allowed. And in this account, what we would have is we would have subscriptions, and that is where you create your free trial account. This is basically called as subscription, right? And you cannot do much with subscription. Okay. Subscription is something which is important. Inside this subscription, what you will have is you will have something called as resource groups. Okay. So you will be creating multiple resource groups. Okay. Right. And in the account, you can create multiple subscriptions also. Right. So resource groups. And inside this resource groups is where you have your resources. Resource is your SQL server, your virtual machine. This is your resource. That is how Azure works. And whenever you are working in Azure, whenever you create an account, first to authenticate or to ensure that whether you are a correct user or not, a tenant gets created. And that tenant is basically called as Azure Active Directory. And then for your account, a subscription gets created, right? So, and an account can have multiple subscriptions. An account can have multiple subscriptions, right? So you might have pay as you go. Okay, right. Your account can have as many subscriptions as you want. Okay. Right. And again, this will have resource groups. And inside the resource groups, you will have resources. So what you and me actually end up creating is resources. But to hold these resources, we need all of this. But to hold these resources, we need resource groups. And resource group will always be part of some subscription, RG. Am I clear on this? So when you created an account, you get two things, account and tenant. Tenant is something which will allow you to log in. And now within the account, you have subscriptions. Within the account, you have subscriptions. Tomorrow your company might have one Azure account and they might create 10 subscriptions, one for different customer, right? Whatever it could be, they have different ways of basically working it over, right? Okay. Does Oracle DB is supported in Azure like AWS in bring your own license and install category? It works in altogether different way, Jaydev, because in Azure Oracle is unmanaged. Okay, so the Oracle can be created as a virtual machine, not as a database actually, right? Okay, bring your own license. I think they support, yeah, because Oracle gives you images, but the point is that you will not get all the benefits what you are seeing right now. Yeah, so we'll discuss about unmanaged stuff later. So Jaydev, is this your first class? Second? Okay, 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 right, okay, fine. So right, we have this, right? Now what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll try to create one database which is free of usage. Okay, and I would expect that everyone in the classroom also does this. For today you can do post class, but going forward I want you and me doing the stuff at the same time. So in Azure I said, right, whenever you work on anything you have to create something called as resource groups. Okay, so you can go to all services. Okay, and then type free. Okay, today I want you to deal it in this way itself. Actual way of basically dealing, I'll try to show it to you. So free, we have shown this stuff yesterday also. Azure 60, right? And now in this free, let me do one thing. Yeah, in this free, are you seeing this? This is what we are going to use. Because this machine is anyway free for us for the first 12 months. So I'll click on create. Then it asks what is the resource group which you want. I would say create a new resource group called as SQL demo. Right, and now once you scroll down, give some name to the database. Okay, so Qt testing. Okay, and then you need to select a server, but by default you will not have a server, so you have to click on create new. So click on create new. When you click on create new, give some name to it. Okay, so something like Qt Azure SQL demo. Okay, give some admin name. uh, okay, I'm quite sure that this is not at all difficult for most of us, right? So I prefer central US location, and I use that most of the times in my classroom. So I'm sticking to central US. But if you want a different region, you are good to go. Okay. So write all of this stuff and click on OK. Right. Okay. Then it is asking, do you want to basically create an SQL server pool? Yeah. So elastic pool. So I really don't want an elastic pool. And configure database. If you see, it is generation 5, 2 virtual cores and 3 GB of storage is basically what is that we are getting. So I would recommend, for the even though it is free, I would not want you to do this. Okay, because this is too much of a database for whatever we are trying to do. Okay, so 1 minute. I'll still click on configure database. Okay, so did I save this? I don't think so. 21. Right. And today I'm giving you a lot of screenshots. This will not happen going down the line all the time. Yeah. So let us go with this. And select basic. That is more than enough for us. So this database costs us 300 bucks Indian currency. So if you look at basically the US stuff, it is approximately $4 or $5, right? All right. So this is what I would want you to create, even though we have selected free. Yeah. So this is far more than enough than what we would actually want it. All right. So all right. Then it is asking me for next networking. Okay. All right. So every database belongs to some network. We don't need to do much there, but save this. Go to the next page. Okay. Today I want you to blindly follow this. Okay. Then I'll show you how to read the Microsoft documentation to do that. Then it is asking what is the connectivity method. What is the connectivity method? And in connectivity method, I will go with public endpoint. This is a very bad way of dealing. Okay. Not at all a good way. Okay. Right. So the whole point is public endpoint is very bad way. No company would want you to basically open it publicly to databases publicly. But yeah, we are learning. It's okay. So I go with public endpoint, and then rest of the settings I'm not worried. Okay. Then I'll click on review and create. Okay. And then you will get this option. If your validation is successful, you will get that. Click on create. So while the database is creating, let me store all the images and possibly try to answer the doubts which you have. Okay. So is UI the only option? Do I need to remember the UI? This exercise is definitely not for that. Uh, but yeah, we need to understand a few things, right? So 16. 17, 18. That's it. More than enough. Let us see what is happening around over here. Your database is under creation. Yeah. Okay. It is free, right? But actually, it is free, but it will have some cost, right? That cost will be removed, slashed for you. So it is free for you. That doesn't mean that it will not show you cost. It will show you cost, and it will try to tell you that Microsoft has slashed this cost for you. But once you are out of this free plan, okay, after 12 months, then that will be the charges which you will be paying. Those are free only for 12 months. Shabir, am I clear? Yeah, that sounds like an option, Jaydev. Even I don't want to do all of that. But the point is, I'm doing all of this as a feedback, right? Just like how you have given it earlier, there was a feedback saying that every time going through a recording is difficult. So if going through the notes will give us a perspective, that would be more than enough, right? Yeah, right. Okay, initially it will be like this, but after few time, after a few of the basic stuff, we will change the mode. I'll not be drawing a screenshot for everything. But today, since you are doing it for the first time, I'm basically showing it to you. So are you saying your database is created? Okay. So good. So our database is actually created. Okay. So this is our database's URL. Okay. So I'll just stop till this point. Okay. And then I want, let us assume that I want to connect to this database. How can I connect to this database? So generally, if you know SQL Express, you can connect it with Visual Studio and all of that stuff, right? But let me try to see. I think I should have SQL Servers Management Studio. Okay. This is a databases client. Okay. So don't worry about this software. I'll share you all the details, right? And then SQL Server authentication. Our username was Qt DevOps, and then I have set some password. And let me click on connect. Okay. Then it is asking you are not signed into Azure. Do you want me to sign in? Yes, I want you to sign in into Azure. So I'm giving my Azure credentials. So if you see whatever database which you have created, okay, if we have configured everything correctly, we should be able to connect it from here. Then it says that, okay, these are the databases which you have. Okay. Qt testing is your database. Right now it doesn't, it will not have any tables. So it will be empty. But if you want, you can create tables from the stuff and all of that stuff, right? So don't worry about this software. This software, I'll share you how to install that and all of that. But this is the way client. Okay. Okay. Right. Okay. If you are unable to do this last step, I'm absolutely okay with that, because most of you might not have a SQL Server Management Studio, right? Fine. '27, '28. Right. And now, second, create the database as shown above. Okay, I want you to create the database exactly like what I've done. Okay, but I don't want you to stop at every image and look at a screenshot and do it. Have a look at that whole stuff and then do it. Okay, today we have skipped lot of options. Today we have skipped lot of options, but we'll be getting into details. What is this connection, right? So if you get into this database, there are a lot of options like geo replication, sync with other databases, add to Azure search. You go on and on. There are a hell lot of things that can be basically get into, right? There is copy, there is restore, many different things over here. Okay, clear? And one more thing which I want you to do after you finish this exercise, this will not be in the notes. Okay, go to the home and you can click on this resource groups. This is your dashboard. You can click on resource groups, and in resource group, the resource which you have kept at is SQL demo. Once you have finished working with this, okay, please go ahead and delete your resource group, because you don't want to burn down your free time. SQL demo, delete. Okay, so I would recommend everyone, once you have finished your work, deleting your resource groups, right? Why do you want to burn out your free time? Yeah, it might be free, but still you can use it while you're practicing, not just, don't just leave that. Okay, clear on this? So today we have discussed about three deployment models: a single deployment model, a managed instance, and an elastic pool. And I've shared you the screen captures of how to create an Azure SQL database. I'll not call it as a free, I'll call it as Azure SQL database. Okay, from portal. Okay, so and then once you have basically done that, I want you to basically play around with your pricing calculator and then create the databases as I have shown above. If you have done this, that is more than enough for the initial segment of what we want to understand. Then we will get into individual topics. All right. Okay. Uh, can we have any demo which shows how to connect or configure or connect application servers with database server via web server, at least before the end of Azure? I do that every time in our DevOps class, and anyway you are part of the DevOps class when I deal about Kubernetes and when I deal about uh, what you call Jenkins. So you will definitely see that. And by the way, there is no one way, Jaydev, to connect an application server to a DB server. That is how your developer has designed it. Most of the people, companies go with connection strings, but where do we put connection string is your developer's choice. Some companies go with environmental variables, some companies go with configuration files and all of that stuff, right? So I can show some of the application options, but not all, right? Because there are wild hell lot of combinations over there. Clear, sir? Yeah. What is the software that you used in the last? That is called a SQL Server Management Studio. That is called a SQL Server Management Studio. Okay, I'll give you the installation links of all of that. Okay, so today don't worry about it. Today if you just follow this, that is more than enough. Okay, right. So tomorrow we'll not have a class. Okay, tomorrow there is no class. Okay, we'll continue the classes from Monday onwards. So tomorrow there is no class. We'll have the continuation of this class on Monday. Okay, and understand one thing, For everyone in this room, you have to attend the Jenkins class, and it is mandatory. And it is mandatory. Right? Thank you, sir. So I think I have also spoken about where your notes will be, right? So directdevops.blog. If you go over here, Azure Classroom Notes. Okay. So why is yesterday? Okay. Yeah. So today in the database section, you will be seeing 25th April and you will be seeing today's notes. Right? By 11 o'clock, you will see that. How can I attend instance class? What do you mean by instance class? I don't know what is instance class, right? Can we attend Docker and Kubernetes as you mentioned in the first class? When they happen, you can attend. Now Docker is not happening. Now Git and Jenkins is happening. Yes, sir, we have Jenkins and you are supposed to attend that. Okay. In the mail, you would have received the link. Please go through your mail correctly. Ansible classes will not be there for Azure or AWS students, right? Ansible will be there for DevOps students, and there is time because we have other tools to finish before we reach Ansible. Okay. Yeah. Right, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Same to you, Abdul. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks. Right, sir. Thanks.